Right, so we're back with another episode for Freiburg for Life. Of course, we are already in Season 2. This is episode 6 of this video overall, and of this series overall, should I say. And we're getting into the thick of it, and honestly, we've started pretty well this season. I mean, first episode, we won a trophy, and we continued that by doing well in the Bundesliga and a little bit in the Champions League as well. But now, can we continue that form into this episode and continue through maybe going to the halfway point of the season? I think we can do it. So let's go ahead and jump into the game, and let's see what we can do with Freiburg. Of course, our first game back is up against Hanover. I believe we're away from home, but Hanover have been a little bit of a thorn on our side. Bisek is our captain, of course, as I've mentioned before. But Hanover, we gotta be careful with them because you never know what they can do, as they already get the first strike off. Thankfully, Buthelezi was actually in goal, and he was there to save it. He's been pretty decent the times we've called upon him. And a great block there from Eggestein. But yeah, was that Eggestein? No, that might have been Oosterholde. But Hanover do get a goal right then and there from their number 22. Buthelezi was unable to get it, should I say. And Merlin Rohl, from a very tight angle, gets us quickly back into the game, making it 1-1 for us. And then Merlin Rohl gets on the end of another chance that he thankfully gets into the back of the net as well. That's 2 goals from Rohl and Puado already on a brace early on into the game. And can he extend it further on? Because we are leading 2-1, but I don't like 1-goal leads. As we do get another chance for Merlin Rohl yet again. He takes it, strikes it home, and takes it 3-1 for us. That's a hat-trick for Merlin Rohl. That is our number 10. Could easily become our captain very soon. As we get into the middle, Asprilla gets shut off. That unfortunately does go just wide. Very close, but we'll definitely get another one. Asprilla trying to take more shots on. That's good. Suzuki gets on the end of one and does score. He scores our 4th, making it 4-1 to Freiburg up against Hanover. That's our backup attacking midfielder there. Suzuki doing well. But they do get another shot off. They're number 10, and he blows it wide, thankfully, despite Bisek's attempts. And there it is. They get another chance. Their number 14, Bisek, just hits it straight to him. And he does curl it into the back of the net, making it 4-2. But Suzuki was not having it. As our number 15 tries to strike it home, but it was saved by the Hanover goalkeeper there. Still 4-2. Atewolu back in net as we face on Bodo Glimt in the Champions League. We've been doing pretty decently, but can we continue this form? I believe we've got 9 from 9 points. Can we get the 12 points here? I think we can. Bodo Glimt are a beatable team as Asprilla has the first shot on target and it bangs off and in. Like I said, he's been trying to take on more shots and he has, and he scores right here in the Champions League this time. Let's go Asprilla. As Bodo Glimt have a chance of their own right there. They're number 26, Evgen, I guess, and he strikes it home. What a beautiful finish, I have to say. From the corner, they get another shot off from a header this time, but it goes wide, thankfully for us. And they get one more shot right here. Number 22 gets a shot off. Atewolu should be there. He's not. But thankfully, it was wide. But Merlin Rohl, you know our number 10 wasn't going to take that lying down. We're tied at 1-1. Can we make it 2-1? Yes, we can. Thanks to Merlin Rohl. Great finish there by our number 10. The German attacking midfielder. He knows what to do. Puts it in the back of the net. As Javier Puado has a shot from distance. But it's blocked by the shoulder of this Bodo Glimt defender there. But Bodo Glimt have a shot of their own. Bisek tries to get in front of it. He does not. And the ball does go wide, thankfully. But they do have another shot. They did have quite a few shots here. As Atewolu makes the save this time. Thankfully for our German goalkeeper there. But then Asprilla tries to get one more. He's already scored once. He scores twice in this game. Making it 3-1 if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully I counted correctly. I think I did. 3-1. We were winning. We were the visitors here, and we grabbed the 3 points, thankfully, as Asprilla tries to get his hat-trick. Does he? Yes, he does. Of course he gets his hat-trick. It's been a hat-trick central this entire episode. It's been one for Merlin Rohl, another for Asprilla, this time in the Champions League, leading 4-1, making it 4-2, actually, by this Bodo Glimt player. The guy with the mullet hits it off the crossbar and scores. It's unfortunate, but we're still leading by 2 goals, as Suzuki tries to get it to 3-goal lead, but unfortunately it goes wide. But he is looking sharper and sharper. Thank you, Yuito Suzuki. Back in the Bundesliga, we face Borussia Mönchengladbach. Of course, they are a team that have become our rivals. I mean, they were our rivals last season. Can they be that much of a threat for us this season? Who knows? We faced them in the DFB Pokal final last season, but this time, I believe this is our first game against them, and they do get the first shot off. That, fortunately, goes wide for us. But Javier Puado gets on the end of a chance, and he tries to take it home. Can he? Hits off the bar. Sorry, not off the bar, off the post and in, and he scores as Javier Puado gets another shot off of the defender and in. That's a brace for Javier Puado. He's already got 2. Can he make it a hat trick? That'll be 3 hat tricks for our players. Merlin Rohl has already got 1. Aspria's got 1, as Borussia Mönchengladbach get a shot off. But can Javier Puado get the 3rd hat trick, making it a hat trick of hat tricks for our players? Maybe he can. He just needs 1 more goal as Nico Gonzalez gets a shot off from distance, but unfortunately, it's blocked by the Borussia Mönchengladbach defender there. But then we have another shot here for Merlin Rohl. Can he get a goal? And unfortunately, he can't as it goes wide, but we're still winning 2-0, thankfully, to Javier Puado's goals. So 10 games into the season, and we are leading the Bundesliga. We have 8 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. 25 points. Frankfurt are behind us by 1 point. Borussia Dortmund with 1 point behind that. And then a pretty steep drop-off with Wolfsburg, Mönchengladbach, and Bayern Munich all dropping down to 16 and 15 points. Leverkusen's also in there, same with Hamburg. But either way, we have a potential to win the Bundesliga title. I'm not saying we will. There's potential here. Can we do it? Who knows? As we face a tough opponent in Hamburg, as I mentioned, they were in 8th place. I believe they had 15 points alongside Bayern Munich. Of course, that's 10 points behind us, but still a pretty tough opposition regardless. I know they just recently got promoted back in real life, but Aspria tries to get us off as we were away from home and does get us off. He's got 1 goal there. He's already got, 4 goals in this episode? Not bad from a player who didn't score too many goals last season to scoring 4 goals within, 3 games, I think. As Lavia tries to get a goal for himself, unfortunately, it does go just wide. But Hamburg wanted to have a piece of their own as they get a shot up, but Atobolo was there. You saw those fingertips move because he's amazing at this whole goalkeeping thing. He has been a rock at the back right there. But Hamburg do get a pretty decent shot off again that Atobolo was there for. He saw it coming as I think Emerson Royale was trying to block that shot, but he just wasn't able to. But Romeo Lavia, can he finally score? I think he can. Yes, he does. 2-0 for us. Get the 3 points up against a pretty tough opponent. Then we are back in the Champions League as we face a very tough opponent, which are Juventus. And if you saw that correctly, there was Ter Stegen in goal and Dusan Vlahovic as their striker. But Ter Stegen in goal, that was a player that I was thinking about signing, but I really like Atobolo. But anyways, very early on into the game, we had Javier Puado score a goal right from, not from kickoff, but basically like 2-3 minutes in, and Merlin Rohl very soon after got a goal for himself as well. I think barely 11 minutes in, and we were already leading 2-0 up against Juventus. This was a fantastic coup from this Freiburg side because we're not, like veterans in this Champions League, but Juventus did try to make it a little bit tougher by trying to score a goal. Thankfully, Atobolo was there. But I will say, this was not as tough a game as I thought it was going to be. It's Juventus. I really thought it was going to be extremely difficult. I'm not saying that it wasn't. It's just Atobolo had to make a great save there. But we had pretty decent enough control over them. I know they've had 3 chances and we've had 2. But to be fair, we've saved all 3 of them and we've scored our 2. So I'm just saying we're leading 2-0 quite comfortably up against Juventus. And we did have another shot off here by Javier Puado finally tying up the amount of chances. And thankfully it goes in as well, making it 3-0. Basically sentencing the game, allowing us to get the 3 points yet again. I believe that puts us up to 15 points after that Bodo Glimt win. And with this victory, it should ensure us 15 points as Atobolo makes another a really good save there. I know we're conceding chances, but I mean, with the goalkeeper that we have, we're not conceding goals. That's the good part. And we do have Beste. I know we don't really talk about him much, but he does get a shot off that Ter Stegen unfortunately does save. But we're still leading 3-0 up against this titanic of a side in Juventus as Dusan Vlahovic has a shot from outside the box, should I say, and he does score it. That was a banger, I have to admit. But 3-1, it's not a bad scoreline whatsoever. Back in the Bundesliga, we did unfortunately drop some points. We dropped 2, as we did see Alex Kral and Merlin Rohl score a goal apiece to end up in a 1-1 draw, where we had made no substitutions, but it was a little bit lackluster performance, as we did concede and only scored 1. But it's okay, we move on, we'll still take the point. But in the DFB Pokal, we faced Hoffenheim, and after extra time, we subbed in a few of our starting players, and we did score a goal with Romeo Lavia, just the one though, in the 108th minute to get the victory and progress to the next round. I know you see the field, and you see that Romeo Lavia scored, but I was going to show more, but unfortunately, I had to hop in to make sure that we would win, and thankfully we did. I thought we might have even gone to penalties. Thankfully, we didn't, but we did progress to the next round of the DFB Pokal. Back in the Bundesliga, though, we faced a very tough opponent in RB Leipzig. I know I didn't really mention them in our review of the table, but they are a tough side. That's just how it's been over the few years. I mean, they have some pretty decent attacking depth and defensive depth, and overall just really good players. As Yusuf Paulsen shows it off right there by scoring very early on. He's actually the captain of the side now. I believe he joined Hamburg in real life, but Gulaschi's still there? Jeez. I know he's rather old, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but RB Leipzig do score again. I know, and I'm not trying to diss this side because they are a really good side, as I mentioned before, as Javier Puado tries to get something, and he does, thankfully. It's 2-1. RB Leipzig is still winning, but it's a very tough side to compete against, and I don't think we have the capability to do it, at least right now, because of how we're playing. I mean, we did draw against Union Berlin, but Javier Puado does get us off right there. 2-2. He's tied it up. Can we get the 3 points? It's possible, but right now, we're settling for a draw. 2-2, as RB Leipzig does get another shot off here by Gunther. Yes, our former player, our former captain, Gunther, does get a shot off that Atebolu saves. Thankfully, it's still 2-2 with plenty of time left as Javier Puado tries himself to get a hat-trick, and there it is. He does get the hat-trick, making it 3-2. That's the third hat-trick. Finally, we got the hat-trick of hat-tricks. Asprilla, Merlin Rohl, and Javier Puado. But back in the Champions League, as we did face PSV, the Dutch Giants. I believe they just recently won the Eredivisie last season. I could be wrong in saying that, but I believe they did. As Javier Puado gets a shot off that unfortunately does get blocked by their defender. And there might be a few players that we might sign from this team, possibly. Who knows? We will see. But a cross in for Bisek. Tries to get the header on. He does, but unfortunately it does go just wide. I really wanted him to get a goal. Unfortunately, he did not. But Suzuki, he was starting this game. Tries to get a shot off that. Their goalkeeper, I believe it's Benitez, gets the save off there. We were creating some decent chances, and we should have easily scored. As Javier Puado does finally get the shot off, and it goes in. Benitez got a hand to it, but it does not keep it out, thankfully, right then and there. And it goes in thanks to Javier Puado, our Spanish striker. So we're leading 1-0, but PSV finally do get a chance off that he just steals it off, and Noah Lang punishes us for it. I believe he's joined another team. I can't remember. I think he's joined Napoli in real life, but he does punish us there, making it 1-1. But unfortunately, that wasn't over as Albert, or I think that was Albert right there, scores a goal, making it 2-1. And then they get another shot off, and we save. But guess what? It lands at the feet of his. It lands at the same player's feet, and he gets to score it in between the legs of Atebolu and, of course, the post, making it 3-1. But Javier Puado to make it 3-2. He does, thankfully. So let's keep going. Let's fight for those 30 points. We got 15 already. Can we get up to 18 within 6 games? That'd be absolutely insane. Basically guarantee top 8 finish. As Bisek does try to do some defending there and blocks it with his knee there. We will take that as Noah Lang tries to score another, and he does, making it 4-2. Quite late on in the game, unfortunately, so it was quite devastating there, but we kept pushing forward. You know my type of teams. We do not give up. As Merlin Rohl tries to get a shot off, and he does. That, unfortunately, does not end up in the back of the net. It goes just wide. I wish that would have gone in. As Noah Lang tries to get himself a hat-trick, and he doesn't, thankfully, as Atebolu makes the save, but it shows that they are still fighting, and they just keep scoring, man. They've already got 4 goals. We've only got 2. We're losing 4-2. I know we're at home, but we're at home. We got to do better than that. Atebolu was forced to make another great save there. He's very disappointed because he has conceded 4 goals. Merlin Rohl gets on the end of another chance. This should be in. Can it be the 3? And it is. It's 4-3. Maybe the comeback is on, at least for the singular point for both of us. It's 4-2. Psych. It's 4-3 now. Thanks for Merlin Rohl. But they do put in a pretty decent cross. They get a header off, and unfortunately, Atobolo was unable to make the save. Back in the Bundesliga, as we face Bayer Leverkusen, as Merlin Rohl gets the first chance of the game, and he strikes it home to put us in the lead, 1-0. But Bayer Leverkusen, we're not taking that standing down as Diogo Jota. Yes, they do have Diogo Jota, and I just have to say rest in peace to this amazing player, and I wish him all the best. Of course, I love him as a player, and of course, we miss him all so dearly. But anyways, the rest of the game does go on as follows. Asprilla does get a shot off. Unfortunately, we did not score there, but it is a tie thanks to Diogo Jota and, of course, Merlin Rohl, who did score on either team's behalf. But either way, it's a draw, but we don't want to draw. We want to win. I know Leverkusen are a really good side. Also, Diogo Jota wearing the number 14. Massive respect. You know, that's my favorite number. As Merlin Rohl does get a brace right there to put us back into the lead, making it 2-1. Adwol was loving that. But I wish it wasn't, as it was another goal from Diogo Jota. That's a brace for him as well. It's brace for brace. Who's going to get the hat-trick? Who knows? Will either of them get the hat-trick? As Asprilla tries to get us back into the lead. And he does not, unfortunately. He does not get us back into the lead as Ruben van Bommel gets a header off. I know one of those shorter players does get a header off, but it goes very wide. So still tied at 2-2, but Ruben van Bommel, after his lackluster header, gets a shot off, and he actually scores it there. He buries it, making it 3-2 to our Freiburg side. Despite Diogo Jota's efforts, we were leading 3-2 finally. But I have to say, it wasn't over there, as Bayer Leverkusen do get another shot off, and they do score, making it 3-3, tying it up. But then I make a huge mistake as Atobolu just passes straight into the path of Diogo Jota, finishes off his hat-trick, making it 4-3, possibly the game winner. And it basically was, as Florian Wirtz gets a strike off from the edge of the box. Sorry, not even edge of the box, outside the box, and it goes wide, thankfully. But we are still losing 4-3. Yes, they still have Florian Wirtz, despite the fact that he's gone to Liverpool now. As Javier Puado has a shot off, but it goes straight into the path of the goalkeeper there. I believe it's Hradecki. It is still Hradecki as the goalkeeper. And I wish this was the end. It should be Javier Puado scoring there. But unfortunately, it goes over the bar, and we're still losing 4-3. I wish we could have got the goal. Merlin Rohl didn't get the assist, but Javier Puado gets one. Sorry, not Javier Puado. Diogo Jota gets an assist for Florian Wirtz. Somehow it sneaks through, and they win. Our next opponents were Frankfurt away from home. They are at their home stadium, as they do have, I don't know if you saw that, but it was Moise Kean and Mario Götze as their attackers there. But we were the first ones on the attack, as Merlin Rohl does kick us off with a beautiful finish there, making it 1-0 to Freiburg. I think we can definitely get this victory over Frankfurt. They have caused us problems in the past, but I think we can definitely do some more damage here, as Asprilla cuts inside with his left, tries to score another, and he does. I believe that's 5 goals already in this episode. He's ramping up those goals. He's definitely doing so, and he's got another here as we're winning 2-0. Kevin Trapp is absolutely upset with that. As Merlin Rohl tries to get himself a brace, which he does. Of course, the German attacking midfielder, our number 10, he knows what to do, and they're scoring a lot of goals, him and Javier Puado. But Merlin Rohl has to get himself the hat-trick. He really wants it with his left this time. He strikes it, but it goes just wide. It could have hit off the post too, but it was just wide. But we're still 2-0 victory over Frankfurt. We will definitely take that, as Merlin Rohl tries to get another shot off, and he does, but it's wide again. He really wanted the hat-trick. He just couldn't. The left-footed shot's not for him. But Frankfurt do try to get, a consolation goal right here by Skiri, who does get a shot off and scores, but it made it quite tough, as it is 2-1 now. It's a little bit scary. I don't like 1-goal margins, but we do still take home the 3 points. That game against Frankfurt was a crucial one, as if they would have won that game, we would have been in a very tough spot, because if they would have won that game, they would have been on 35 points and we would have been on 32. We would have basically swapped places, but we're still in the lead, 15 games into the league stage, or into this league campaign so far, I should say. And we are still in the lead somehow, over Bayern Munich, over Dortmund, over Frankfurt, Leverkusen, and there's RB Leipzig right there in 6th. But it is getting very close at the top there. It's only 1 point. 1 point behind us is Dortmund. 3 points behind us is Frankfurt, and then Bayern Munich are slowly climbing up the table as well. Freiburg, we can do this. Maybe we can win the league title, but we won't see this episode. We got to keep going. there's still a few more games left for this episode, thankfully. But before that, we have officially reached January. We have sold a few players, but we have also sold those players to make some money so we can send out a scout. In this right here, we have sent him to Mexico, of course, my country, just for 3 months, looking for a center back, a CDM, an attacking midfielder, and a striker, just to fill up some more depth down the spine of the team, because we desperately do need a little bit more depth. So we simulated a majority of this game, but we hopped in as we were losing 2-0 to Augsburg, and it should have been a decently easy game, but unfortunately it wasn't, as we did concede 2 goals, and unfortunately we're unable to score any of our own, and did lose and drop 3 points there. So are we still at the top of the table? Highly doubt it, but we will check in a little bit later. But it's okay, we keep moving forward. The dream is definitely not over, we keep moving forward. But unfortunately, the dream moves on as we face Bayern Munich. That is not the team you want to face after a pretty devastating loss up against Augsburg. But we were facing Bayern Munich. We beat them before. We beat them in the Super Cup this season. Do they want revenge, or can we do the double over them? It's going to be tough. But Harry Kane does get the first shot off here. And it was a block by Malik Thiaw right there, with the leg down there. But it was Joshua Kimmich who had a shot this time, and Bisek was right there. No, it wasn't Joshua Kimmich, sorry. I think it was, is that Bisek? I swear that was Bisek who saved it. It was Bisek. It was Ginter. Oh, our former player, Matthias Ginter. But Jamal Musiala does get the first strike, and he does score there. It's 1-0 to Bayern Munich, and he struck that home with vim. Ruben van Bommel trying to get the equalizer there, but unfortunately it was not to be. But it's okay. 1-0, not too bad. So long as they don't concede, so long as we don't concede some more. Michael Elise gets the shot off. Tebolu was able to save it, but Brian Zaragoza was there. And yes, he scores at home right there, as Harry Kane gets a penalty that he was never going to miss there. It's 3-0. Yes, we've conceded 3 very early on into the game. I believe there was 25 minutes barely into the game. Harry Kane gets another strike off, and somehow sneaks through the legs of my defenders and goes through all the way to the back of the net. That's a brace for Harry Kane, making it 4-0, and he leaves with a beautiful backheel pass to Jamal Musiala, who bags it, making it 5-0 before the end of the first half. And Jamal Musiala was not done there, as Brian Zaragoza tries to get another goal there. Jamal Musiala was really wreaking havoc. The entire Bayern Munich team was wreaking havoc here. Could we mount somewhat of a comeback? At least a respectable scoreline? Maybe, as Rohl and Puado gets a strike. And he does score 1 goal, making it 5-1. It's okay. Keep it going. Keep going. Maybe we can score another one. A 5-2 scoreline wouldn't be too bad. Maybe even a 5-3. Come on. Joshua Kimmich gets a yellow card. But Jamal Musiala does get another strike off, and that's a brace for him as well. That's 2 goals for Musiala, 2 goals for Harry Kane, Brian Zaragoza, and I forgot the other goal scorer. But anyways, unless that's a hat-trick for Musiala. It might be a hat-trick for Musiala. But Merlin Roll does get another shot off and scores, making it 6-2 for our Freiburg side. But it is Bayern Munich, and unfortunately that's all we could muster, as we do lose the 3 points. Asprilla does try to get some more here, as he does get it off from Merlin Roll, but what a save by their goalkeeper. It's no longer Manuel Neuer, but he does make a great save, and we do lose the 3 points, as Bayern Munich do get one more shot off there by Michael Elise. Atavolu was there for the save, but 6-2 scoreline. Very humiliating loss. After that humiliating loss, we do check out the table, and we do see that we are now, after 2 games, the 2 games that just passed, of course, we still have the 35 points. Bayern Munich are now only 3 points behind us. We are 5 points off of Borussia Dortmund and 6 points off of Frankfurt, but they have played 1 more game than us. Borussia Dortmund can overtake them, but we can also overtake Frankfurt. No, we can't overtake them quite yet. But anyways, we got to keep pushing forward. We do face Bochum. That'll be the last game of this episode. But man, we were flying high, and we're still not out of it. We're definitely in a title charge, which is exactly what I wanted from the season. So I'm thankful. And then Champions League, we're doing pretty well. But we do still have 2 more huge games in PSG and Arsenal, so we got to be careful with that. But in our Bochum game, we did get a thumping 3-0 victory over Bochum. We did get a goal from Merlin Roll, a penalty goal from Rohl and Puado, and an unlikely of heroes, but we did get Weishaupt, who did get a goal in the 90th minute. He was subbed on for Merlin Roll in the attack midfielder role, and guess what? He actually scored. And Atavolu get another clean sheet for himself, and we'll take that. 3 points on the board, pushing us up to 38 points. Still not enough to get over Dortmund or Frankfurt, but we're getting closer. Just before we end off this episode, though, I did want to pose a question to you guys. There is Mohamed Salah. Yes, he's 34 years old and he's 85 overall, but he is a right mid, left-footed, which is exactly the profile I'm looking for. And we can sign him on a free for next season. Can we do it? Should we do it? Do we have enough money to afford him? Maybe. But if we do, should we sign him up? That's a question I'm posed to you guys. If you guys say yes, let's go ahead and do it. If you guys say no, I'll probably still do it. I'll be honest. I think it's a huge opportunity. But either way, I'd like to hear your comments. Of course, if I go against what the majority says, I'm sorry. But it's looking more likely that we're going to try to sign Mohamed Salah if it's feasible financially. Regardless, maybe he retires with us. That'd be a pretty cool end to his campaign. But he is a serial winner. He's won the Champions League. He's won the Premier League twice now. And he's the Egyptian king. Why not sign him up? I know he's on the older side. I don't care. Maybe he'll be a nice addition for experience. But anyways, this will be the end of the episode. Let me know what you guys think about this whole Mohamed Salah signing. I think it's a pretty smart move if we do end up going for it. But anyways, that's the end of the episode for this Freiburg for Life episode 6. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do like and subscribe. I thought it was a lot of fun. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.